All right, hello and welcome to episode 2 of Goon TV. I'm Johnny Stevensley along with
Matt Mayhem.
Okay, well,
Caps just won. Caps just took out the Flyers. Game 6. We took them out. Going to the second round. Sorry, I had to throw that out there first.
Extremely happy man. Now the Capitals go on and they face Pittsburgh, but we'll talk about that because we're going to start talking about round one finishing up of the playoffs. We're going to start off in the Western end. Like I said, the side that we don't like, as you can tell from the jerseys. Of course, me wearing my Patrick Waugh jersey, and Matt wearing his Migraine. I don't pay attention much to the
every time I've won this series, we've won, so I'm just keeping on wearing it.
And we've actually gotten a lot of positive responses from the show in episode 1 that anybody's ever shown. And if you get a chance, go to boardhockey.com. They're talking about us on the show. They're giving it out to a lot of other people and, trying to broaden the horizon of Goon TV.
You can go check out boardhockeyfan.com. Great site, great Facebook page, so many great stuff. Check them out.
Super nice people. They're big time hockey fans. They talk about podcasts, they talk about fighting, they talk about NHL, and they talk about the minor leagues, which is really cool. Any
and everything hockey they talk about, and the people who run it, the people who are involved in it, the writers, everything are super nice, super awesome, great fans of their teams and of other teams, and just great hockey people to talk to.
All right, well, we're going to go into the round 1 of the hockey playoffs. Now, we just got some information off of NHLbracket.com. Like I said, I ain't going to plug websites here because, like I said, I want to make sure that our information is up to date. But we'll go with this. We'll go with the first one with Dallas and Minnesota, 3-2.
They're playing right now as we speak. I don't know what the score is yet, but Dallas and Minnesota are playing right now. And if Dallas wins, they move on to the next round.
Kind of like how with the Capitals, it's just first place dominance on the Western end.
Dallas
going on to the next.
Dallas has been the dominant team in the West. I wouldn't be surprised at all seeing them move to the Stanley Cup Finals. But they're showing dominance over Minnesota. Minnesota's trying to put up a fight, but Dallas is
3-2 is actually a really good.
It's a good series.
It's a really good effort for the fact that it is not a beatdown. It's 3-2. 3-2 is a series. It's not much of a series when, like I said, Dallas tries to go in and steamroll them. But, Minnesota has shown that we're not losers.
Dallas did the right moves in the offseason to make for a Stanley Cup contending team. Bringing in Patrick Sharp from the Chicago Blackhawks was a big add.
My father, like I said before in episode 1, how he's a big time Blackhawks fan. Couldn't believe the trade for Patrick Sharp to go from. It's funny how they go from the Philadelphia Flyers. They didn't think he was anything in the Philadelphia, which is hilarious. Because I watch YouTube NHL Rivals all the time, and they talked about the Chicago and Philadelphia rivalry. Like I said, rivalries we're also going to talk about in episode 2 as well. But Patrick Sharp, how they said there was nothing that they could do with him, and funny, I'll mention Patrick Kane a little bit. How they said Patrick Sharp was not really a good player, and then they shipped him off to Chicago, and they were really wrong in that decision.
He pulled a lot of dominance in Chicago, and it's a big reason why they got the cups that they did. It wasn't just Taves, it wasn't just Kane. And speaking of Chicago,
it's a big mixture of them. But if you get the right elements all together, you can create one hell of a team.
Yeah. And speaking of Chicago, let's go into Chicago and St. Louis, and that's tied 3-3.
Yeah, like I said, I've been hearing from my dad about this, but I thought St. Louis had them, but. Yeah, I know.
You can't count Chicago out. As much as I don't like them, you can't count them out. They're obviously a Stanley Cup contending team, and they're defending champions.
You got to mention also how funny it is that from where the Chicago Blackhawks were in their previous years, from the 70s, 80s on into the 90s, how they got some power punching players like Jeremy Roenick, and they had Chris Chelios on their team as well. And, some other players, like I said, I can't, mention it just to get into it. But it's so funny how they just went from a long drought, a long drought, and then all of a sudden 2010 into now, Chicago is a team that could win a cup this year, but like I said, St. Louis is definitely in the way.
I mean, St. Louis is in the way, and St. Louis has been trying so hard to get a cup, and I really think if they get eliminated in the first round, like this, there's going to be a lot of changes in St. Louis.
Midwest rivalries.
I mean, guarantee that they build the team just around Tarasenko. I'm talking about, getting rid of coaching staff, players, a whole rebuild if St. Louis doesn't move past this round. So it's a good team is going to go in the first round in this series, and I'm going to take. I think Chicago's going to take it.
Chicago's taking it. I honestly, I'm going to go for the opposite end. I'm going to go for St. Louis. It's kind of like if you were to throw into baseball, it's kind of like the Kansas City Royals. No one ever would have figured that they would have gone on to what they would have done, and then they won the World Series. So I'd like to see what would happen if St. Louis actually defeated
I would like for it to happen.
Former champion.
The way that they've let this series go, I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
You don't think some teams can just slip up and then try
they
to reach back?
They can. I don't see St. Louis doing it against Chicago. If it was against another team, maybe, but against Chicago, I don't see it happening.
Okay,
but we could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Okay, we got Anaheim and Nashville, and Anaheim's leading at 3-2.
This has a makes to go to a Game 7 too. No one thought really Nashville could do much, and they actually came out on top first. Anaheim's kind of had to pull their way together to get to where they are. They are in the lead, and I see Anaheim moving past Nashville, but Nashville's not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, real struggle. But I think if I saw the game correctly, because I have some updates on Facebook all the time, I think it was 5-2 was their last game win, which it's not a big score, of course, but it's. Ducks want to go on, and they want to make sure they want the whole entire league to understand that their win in 2000 and I want to say 6 was when they won the cup was just not a one-time fluke. If they rally together, they can go to the next round. But like I said, Predators in the way. I didn't figure. Like I said, we're talking episode 1. I didn't figure Nashville was going to go past this point, but they're showing. Hey, we're not going to bow down to you just because you're former world champions.
Their fans are standing by their team. I've
Nashville,
seen a lot of Nashville fans, and I'm friends with a few of them, and they're standing by their team.
It's kind of like Buffalo. Buffalo, are a bunch of losers, but man, Buffalo fans, they fill that arena every single time Buffalo plays at home. I have never seen such a fan base so big on one team.
Yeah.
Like I said, many different teams have got many different, fans. And it can raise, and it could be, like
Buffalo,
Florida, nothing. But Buffalo is just. It doesn't matter if it's, they're down 3 goals and then they just score 1 goal, and when they score that 1 goal, the fans go.
Their fans are true.
Yes.
Buffalo fans are true.
Buffalo fans are very true, and I'm glad they actually went back to the old school blue and yellow, because I couldn't stand that red and white and gray and whatever they were using before.
I don't like that too much.
Okay, when we're gonna go into
the
LA San Jose landslide, 4-1 into the next round.
San Jose just is like I'm
playing like they don't have a pulse.
No. So LA, they thought they could do something, they didn't, and San Jose came along with the win, and San Jose deserved the win. They haven't done too much.
Their one win.
San Jose won though.
I'm sorry, but LA, excuse me.
See,
catch me sliding out. But yeah, but San Jose, man, what? No, no cups. I'm not sure on their fan base. Like I said, this was a rivalry for Southern California, like the Battle of Southern California, kind of like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh with the Battle of Pennsylvania. And these two teams are going to go at it, and I'm pretty sure Los Angeles tried to,
they tried to put a fight, but they didn't put up enough of a fight. They got their asses handed to them.
San Jose has been strong for the last few years.
They've been strong, but when they're kind of like the Cavs. When they've come to playoffs, they've kind of choked. Not kind of, they have.
Yeah.
Every time. So they made a lot of changes, and they at the trade deadline, they got James Reimer in from Toronto, did great, phenomenal at the end of the season for San Jose. So I mean, obviously they're going to the second round. I think they have what it takes to make it to the Western Conference Finals. But if it's gonna go against Dallas or Chicago, I mean,
if so, now that San Jose is going to the next round, it's between Anaheim and Nashville, whoever that wins that series, right?
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see Anaheim and San Jose.
That's what it's gonna be.
Because those two teams are literally that far away from each other. If you look on a map in Southern California, San Jose, California, and Anaheim, California are literally that far apart. Those two teams, I wouldn't consider them rivals. I'm not sure. I think they are. But man, I know for a fact that if the Ducks go to the Shark Tank, they're going to get killed. All right, now let's go into the Eastern Conference side, and we'll go into the first section because we have to, because this man will not let it down. It's the Washington destroying Philadelphia 4-2. Matt, you can take over this segment.
Yes, all right. So I said Game 5. All right, so obviously they Philly put up a fight. That was a fluke one first goal they got. They got their second goal last game because it was an empty netter, obviously. But that first goal was a fluke goal. All right, we should have had that game. We should have had the game. We let that slip up. All right, but Game 6 we took it to them. We took it to them in their home. But one thing I will say about the Flyer fans today compared to the rest of the series, they gave a standing ovation to their team. What they should have done, because it was a close game. It was 1-0.
Everybody wants to mention it.
They stayed classy today. I'll give the Flyer fans that they stayed classy. They gave their team a standing ovation, and they let them at least go out with their heads held high. No shame
compared to Game 3, where everybody on every social media network,
but the
every
Caps
TV
won.
network.
But the Caps won.
The Caps won.
So Caps won, and it's going to the next round. We'll get into the Pitt and Rangers now, because Pitt destroyed New York 4-1. All right, so Pitt's going on the second round. So now it's Caps and Pens in the second round. This is what everyone's been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm probably not even going to be able to live at my house for the next week or so while this round isn't going on, because my wife is a Pens fan and she's probably going to kick me out, because we're probably going to, I'm not going to say we're going to destroy Pitt, because that's not going to happen. This is going to be...
You have gone to Washington Capitals games against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And it gets brutal.
It gets brutal. It gets really brutal. I will say, whenever the Pens win, at the Verizon Center, the fans always go and stand up and taunt all the Capital fans that are walking by. I was in Dunkin' Donuts after one of the games at the Verizon Center. I come out of Dunkin' Donuts, I'm looking for my wife, I was like, where the hell's Amy? And I go ahead, I'm calling her, she's not answering. I look, she's over there cheering, talking with the rest of the Pens fans. I'm like, oh, damn it, what the hell? But, it's going to be a great series. It's going to be a really great series, and I'll say this. I think it's going to go to a Game 7. I think it's going to go to Game 7. The thing that I'm going to say that we have in our favor, one, we got Hope Beast. He got his second shutout today in the first series. We have 2 Game 7 experts, Mike Richards and Justin Williams. I've said it before, all right? And we haven't won a cup. And I think if we can get past this round and get past the Penguins, we got this.
Definitely. I can see it.
We got this. But this is going to go to a Game 7.
I don't, both of my teams have been eliminated. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't want to see Pittsburgh. As much as I love Philadelphia, I don't want to see Pittsburgh go on. I don't want to see Sidney Crosby raise that cup above his head.
No.
I don't care. I'd rather see Alexander Ovechkin raise that cup and Braden Holtby hold that cup in the air rather than Chimera, of course.
Chimera's going to hold that cup high.
Give it a big old kiss like every other person does.
It's gonna happen.
Okay, well, we're going on the next one, and it's
Florida and the Islanders.
Now, New York Islanders are coming in here as a wild card spot and have totally just blown my mind about how they're ahead 3-2.
Yeah, because Florida did great in the regular season. They they dominated their division. You know,
But I mean, the wild card is beating up one of the most dominant teams in the East.
And the Islanders don't even
one of the most.
Islanders don't even have goaltending, which is surprising me because to me they just don't have the goaltending.
Well,
there.
with superior leadership of Yager. Do you think that, I mean, because Yager's been in that, Yager's been there.
Yeah,
Yager has been there with the Flyers. He's been there with
Boston. He's been there
with the Los Angeles Kings.
No.
He wasn't Los Angeles.
No, he was.
No, I'm thinking of Luke Robitaille. I apologize.
He was in there.
He was with the Pens when they were doing their thing with Super Mario.
So I mean, like he's been there. You know, if anyone's gonna help get them to a game 7 and even this out, it's going to be Yager. Yager's going to be the answer to this, and he knows this. He's got to
like I said, I'm surprised just a wild card spot like the Flyers. I was hoping that the Flyers would put up a little bit more of a stink against Washington. Of course, this man, is very happy about that fact. But I just can't believe Islanders, man. I mean, they want that cup, and you realize it's been since, I believe it was 1983, since the New York Islanders have raised the cup above their head.
Well,
I mean, I wasn't even born yet, man. I mean, my sister Beth was born, but 4 straight dominant cups.
But this is
then all of a sudden,
if the Islanders get to the next round, and they beat Florida, they're gonna have to beat the winner of the other series, which was Tampa Bay and Detroit. And Tampa Bay took it to Detroit and cleared house with them.
That was the next game, 4 games to 1, and it was just.
So
Detroit did not have their heart in it, man.
So if I don't think Islanders can get past Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is gonna win whoever they face in the second round. They're gonna go to the Eastern Conference Finals and face either Pens or the Caps.
In that series, I'm hoping that Islanders win. I don't like Tampa Bay. They eliminated Montreal when they were going into their series. Of course, they eliminated Boston, which was really cool, but. Tampa Bay, I guess, kind of wanted it more than Montreal, and I really would love to see the Islanders go on and just go on and go on and see what they can do.
It's not going to happen.
Well, if they can get past Tampa Bay, but like I said, you never know that if they could take out Florida, man, that would be just